face mask. That's against Columbian. So Toledo Scott
Plays great the face mask, and that's a costly error. The ball's down to the 18.
And an automatic first from the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. I think the crowd here is a little bit stunned. Handoff once again is Campbell. A yard or two off the right side, and a swarm of Tornadoes. McClung in on the tackle along with Scott Ritchie. And also a 23, that's a 1-yard gain, so we'll say 2nd down, 9 from the 17. Split out to the wide side is James Mann. And the receiver on the near side, Marlon Warren. Fake, deep drop, and a roll. Being chased, and down he goes. At the back over across the 25 to about the 26. Good pursuit by the Tornadoes, and the quarterback, Carl Armstrong, with nowhere to go.
Sprint out by Carl resulted in about an 8-yard loss.
3rd down, 16. 9 minutes change to go. No score, just underway in the first quarter. From Columbian Stadium on WTTF and WTTF-FM. Again, a deep drop. Throw across the middle. It is picked off and then dropped. Almost grabbed by Mike McClung. Had it, juggled it, dropped it. But still a great play to knock it down because his man was open.
You're right. That was a very good play by Mike McClung, a junior inside linebacker. Went high.
Field goal.
About a 44-yarder, 43-yarder.
Just about. The ball will be spotted at the 34. The kick is nowhere near close. The ball doesn't even make it to the 5. But a flag came out anyway. We might have a procedure call. I didn't really think that man was going to kick the ball 45 yards, but who knows? But we've got procedure. Well, that's going to back it up even 5 more yards. But it got stymied right there on a nice sack. And we have 6:47 to go. 1st down and 10. Columbian will have the ball. And let's see where it's going to be spotted. I guess the official will sort that out now. Well, the 20 is just standing right out. He's standing over it, right at the 20-yard line. So here we go. First possession, Kane Runyon will be the quarterback. Coming to the near side is a wide receiver, Chris Hill. On the far side is Brad Wise, and the Tornadoes will run out of the I formation. Hand off to the up man. Nice play, and just Casey Punyon just pounds ahead to about the 25. Nice 5 crisp blocking up in front, 5-yard gain, 4-yard.
Nice to see number 20 back there at tailback. Successful running against Clyde. Took Casey Punyon, and he found a hole, got 5 yards.
We'll see it, I'm sure, more. 2nd down. Calling signals is Runyon, and coming in motion is Losi. Again, the handoff, this time to Newland. Deep back, the tailback, across 30, 35. Skips away from one man and gets to the 37, 38-yard line before the tackle is finally made. Trying to pick up who got him. I'm looking for it.
I think it was 22.
It's a 1st down, Tornadoes.
That was that counter trap where Newland starts one way, comes back the other way, and they pull the backside guard and kick out for him. He did a great job of running, following his block.
Still in the eye, and Scott showing blitz. Handoff to the deep back. Newland again can't get outside, and he's going to be just shoved out of bounds by 3 Scott players. Larry Estes in on the tackle once again, along with 31. That's Eddie Glover. Not much doing there at all. I don't think you're going to run wide on these guys and get around any corner.
4-4 in the third defense was a 50 with the linebacker blitzing like you called it.
37-yard line. Has 2nd down and 10. I thought it was 3rd. Snap. Runyon. Nice fake. Keeps. Throws. And Spencer has the ball at the 45 midfield. Into Scott territory. Brushes off a tackle. Did the ball come loose? It did. And Scott's got it at the 35-yard line.
What a shame. They ran that misdirection waggle. They hit Eric Schlosser on the drag pattern. He made a great catch and then made
trying too hard than just being careless. He was not. He just lost the ball struggling for extra yardage. So Scott gets a break, getting the ball back at their own 35-yard line when the Tornadoes were moving. Drop, quick throw, and misfiring.
Real good pressure that time by the Columbian defense. In fact, they brought number 9, Nate Williams, I think.
Marlon Warren, the intended receiver, and he goes back out on the far side. Still running out of the eye at 2nd down and 10, 35-yard line. Toledo. Scott, good pressure screen. Comes to the near side. Antonio Lockett is hammered and knocked out of bounds for virtually nothing. Tornadoes smell that one out nicely. In on the tackle, Adam Perna. Also, Brian Foos.
Another real great effort by Nate Williams. Number good communication, and they really played well as a defensive unit.
Third down and 11 for Toledo Scott. Long count and dropping back, and again, great pressure coming from the near side was Williams, so the quarterback rolls to the far side. Armstrong on the dead run, throws and incomplete. And over on the far side, the intended receiver once again, Marlon Warren, so it'll be 4th down and 11.
He was pretty well covered.
Well, Jeff Warwick will go back with Kane Runyon. And the kick will come from inside the 20 at the 18. Snap. Pretty good rush by Adam Perna. The kick is off, bounces at the 40. Warwick takes it at the 38, loses it, falls on it, and consolidates his loss. Stops right there. Once a knee touches, of course, in high school, you're down. 6:57 to go. First quarter, we'll be back in 30 seconds. Back at Columbian Stadium, Antonio Lockett just made a tackle after the quarterback keep by Kane Runyon, which brings the ball over the 40 to the 42. That's how this series starts. It'll be a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
That was that option that Kane Runyon comes out after faking. Did a good job. He picked up about 4 yards.
No score, and it's been pretty good tussle so far. 2nd down and 7. Runyon gives to Newland. Newland comes to the near side. 2 men meet him, and he's rolled out of bounds on the home side of the field. And here comes a late flag, and that's going to be against the tackler, Larry Estes, who maybe forgot where he was.
It's a relationship to running a player out of bounds. That's something we coaches go through all the time.
I guess it's possible to forget where you are in the heat of the moment. 6:17 to go. Runyon, a fake, and being pressured, gets the ball off, and it's not intercepted. It could have been. 2 men back there, and Larry Estes was one of them. Also back with him, James Arrett. So it brings up 3rd down, 6:12 to go. Again, Runyon calls, signals, long count. Oh, a handoff on the inside. That was a nice handoff to Punyon, but it didn't work. Smelling it out was Albert Bowman, who wrapped up the ball carrier back at the 42, maybe the 43. And one of the Tornadoes is there.
It was the quick trap they ran very successfully on the 1st down, but Scott did a good job of defending it that time and beat the trap.
There was a loss, and the ball's at the 43, 3rd down and 16 from the eye. Runyon fakes, drops, throws, and yes, is back. Chris Hill inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Might be short. It's going to be close, depending on the spot.
What a great pass Kane Runyon just delivered. I mean, that was a major league throw. He faked the belly to the fullback, then stood straight up. And
Estes, once again, Larry Estes, the man who made the stop, he's all over the field. And the Columbian Tornadoes will go on 4th and 1 from the 28. Runyon at the line of scrimmage, high formation, receivers left and right, calling out the signals. Drops back quick, slant, thrown for Hill, and there may be interference on Estes. Looked like incidental contact, but Hill may have gotten the call.
I think what happened there is Columbian had called a running play.
The penalty.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say I was real impressed with Kane Runyon that he was audibled out of that run into that pass.
Good point. It's at the 14-yard line, 1st down. Tornadoes, so the drive stays alive. Runyon keeps. Comes to the near side, goes to the 6, and is rolled down there. So this is the first serious throw of the game.
That's that play we saw about 3 plays ago where he fakes the belly and keeps the ball. Kane Runyon showing his athletic ability on keeping the ball after he faked and picked up about maybe 7-8 yards.
Spot the ball at the 7. Coming back in is David Losey.
Columbian doesn't make any mistakes here. We should get a score.
2nd down and 4. There's the Columbian pep band. We'll try to modulate that. 2nd down and 4 from the 7. So obviously the Tornadoes could make a first and not score and be at point-blank range. Handoff goes to Newland. Newland is hauled down. A gorgeous tackle by Robert Campbell. It looked like he was going to sprint in off the right side. Campbell just smelled it out, tracked him down, and nailed him. Heat-seeking missile.
Toledo Scott showed blitz by their two inside backers. There was a little running room.
On the tight end goes to the far side. And we've got a timeout and a delay. Delay of game is called against the Tornadoes, so they're going to lose 5 yards here. That will drive you up the wall, will it not?
Hurt.
Coming out of the lineup is Brad Wise. Hill is in. Now he's on the near side. The split backfield now and dropping back. Quick drop. Throwing for the corner. There's Hill. It's overthrown. Good thought.
Toledo Scott showing a 9-man front there to stop Columbian's running game. So King Runyon just threw the quick pass out to the what we call a corner route, where the wide receiver just tries to run for the
back. His holder is Seth Watson. This worked for the extra point last week that won the Clyde game. Everybody's pointing again. Now going in is Jeff Warwick quickly. 4th down and 8. The ball rolls to the holder. The kick is up. Now it's away and it's good.
There's a flag on the play though.
That was from the 12-yard line, so call it a 22. Well, let's hold everything. Procedure, Columbian.
Wow.
To scratch that one.
That was a nice kick. It looked like 2 trains passing tonight. I think the defensive lineman ran right by where Schloss was kicking it from.
The 17, so add 10. Actually, the ball's going to be spotted at about the 23, so it's a 33-yarder. Kick is up, and it's going to be short. Bounces at the back of the end zone, no good. We have a timeout on the field, no score. 3:14 to go, first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back at Columbian Stadium, 3:14 to go, no score, first quarter. And Toledo Scott has the ball once again, bouncing off of one man as Campbell. Tried to get to the outside, nothing doing. Very short gain again, good pursuit by the Tornadoes. 2 pretty quick defenses out here tonight, Bob.
Adam Perna did a real good job of beating his block.
Right side at the 21-yard line, a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9 again at the line of scrimmage. Fine quarterback is Armstrong. Hand off to the deep man, that's Campbell. Campbell getting close to the 25, maybe the 24. It's going to be a hard-nosed game tonight. Guys helping each other up, that's a nice sign. 3rd down, and still a long way to go, about 6. Mike Sunderman comes out of the lineup. And here's Carl Armstrong. Call signals, drops, looks, has time. Now unloads long, has a man wide open, and just overthrew James Mann. And Mann had a step on his man.
Corey Smizer was the defensive back for Columbian that was 45, 50 yards in the air.
That he did, so nothing doing. 4th down and 6, just under 2 minutes to go. The punt will come from inside the 10 by Toledo Scott. No score. Good rush by the Tornadoes. Kick is off. It'll be short of midfield. And there's a collision down there. Here's a flag. Warwick was run into. The ball is free, and it's a scramble there, but it's going to be inside the 50-yard line on the Toledo Scott side of the field. We'll see what the flag is. Undoubtedly, it's going to be running into the kicker, or running into the receiver, or not allowing him to catch the ball.
That's right. You have to give him a 2 to 3 yard cushion. You have to let him attempt to make the catch. It's a tough rule to really officiate with, because...
And this has been a feeling out process here in this first quarter. Runyon will be at quarterback, and Hunyon and Newland in the I formation. Long count, snap, and it is Newland who carries. That was a pretty good fake. He had me watching him. The ball goes inside the 45 to about the 43, and now 2 flags come after the play. This has got to be something, a personal foul type thing, because it came long after the tackle.
I think it was a personal foul. right now Dennis Black, the head coach at Scott, I'm sure is very upset with that young man that just pushed Newland in the back, because that just cost him 15 yards.
Well, he in effect negated the play and made it tougher on his teammates. Runyon back at the line of scrimmage, I formation, and this time Runyon pitches to the outside and rolled out on the far side. I think that's Punyon. Yeah, it is Nick Newland. I'm sorry, it's 20, not 21.
That was another option. That was the dive option. So we've seen Runyon run a belly option and a dive option, as well as the misdirection waggle where he kept it. So.
And we're back at the 16-yard line, so it's first down there for Columbian with just over a minute to go first quarter. Tornadoes in all blue tonight with the gold helmets, moving from right to left. Runyon back at the line of scrimmage. Fakes, looking, has time, gets the ball off and underthrows. Over there and almost picking that off was Eddie Glover. Thrown low enough it couldn't. I guess his man doesn't
get through it a little bit.
First he had time and then the pocket collapsed. Well, he was rolling to the near side, so now we're back at the line of scrimmage again. Runyon calls signals, and I thought I saw motion. I do not. Runyon with a fake keeps and gets to the 5. Fake pitch. That pulled it back in.
What a great job he just did on that option. The belly option where he faked.
Not quite enough for the first, as the ball is sitting outside of the 5 at about the 6. We'll call it the 6. 15 seconds and counting, first quarter. And this makes an interesting situation when you have an option quarterback. Runyon calls signals, fakes. Again, he fakes the pitch, keeps it, and just strolls into the end zone. Get him guessing, huh?
Same identical play they just ran. They ran the same play 2 times in a row. Runyon is a very good athlete, and it's great to have an athlete at quarterback. And boy, is Runyon showing his athletic ability, at least in that drive.
Slauson will attempt the extra point on the kick, the holder Watson. And that is a breakthrough because that is our first score of the night. Snap, kick, looks good and is. Eric Slauson moves it through. 7-0. That's 8 on the scoreboard. We don't get 2 for kicks, do we? Seconds left in the quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. WTTF FM, Tiffin. That's our station break. We're at 8 o'clock already. A long first quarter again, Bob.
Real long first quarter. Columbian finally got a drive going. Like we said earlier, Kane Runyon did a great job there driving the team down for that. I think it was about a 48-yard drive, aided a lot by a 15 or 10-yard penalty. But boy, did he show some great athletic ability.
Well, the penalty kept the drive alive, but you had the feeling somebody was going to put something together here.
On the play that we missed, where he dropped back and threw a dart, like you called it, that was a major league throw.
Yeah,
he threw it down to, I think Brad Wise caught that.
Wise, Yeah, there was no doubt about that getting to the receiver. Slauson kicks, good kick. Drives his man back, the ball hits the receiver, bounces out to the 20. Picked up down there by Eddie Glover, and Glover is swarmed under, lost the ball, and the Tornadoes have it. The officials signaling it, the Tornadoes are signaling it, the coaching staff, but we'll see who got it under the pile. Columbian has it, and another huge break as the first quarter ends. Looks like Craig Alley on special teams was down there, but also Phil DeWald. One of those two, I think.
This is what normally happens when you play teams from inner cities, from deep in the city, where they come out and they look forward to a game down here, and they play really hard for about a quarter, and then they start making mistakes.
Bottom falls out.
Shoot themselves in the foot.
We are at the end of the first quarter. Columbian will have the ball when we come back in 1 minute. Okay, this will be a 1 minute break. 1 minute break. look at Columbian High School, the tackle made on Runyon by Raphael Porter as we get underway in the second quarter, with now the Tornadoes moving from left to right. They will be at the 27-yard line. Underway with Columbian leading 7-0. Second quarter. Runyon calls signals again. Toledo showing an active defense. And they are active indeed. There's Newland pounding forward and gets to the 20-yard line. That's where you just outrun or outsmart, I guess, the defense, because they're coming and you just go away from them, as you said before, Bob. Just trapping or influence blocking, they used to call.
So impressive about Nick Newland is not only does he run fast, but boy, when he gets ready to get hit, he just lowers his head and just takes it to the defense.
Third down and 6 from the 19. Dropping back, Runyon fakes to the line, has his man open, throws to Schlosser, and it's broken up. Nice play to get a hand in Eddie Glover.
That was a great defensive play by the Toledo Scott guy and Eric Schlosser.
Columbian has just taken the lead, 7-0. That was a tough first quarter, and they will go on fourth down. Runyon at the line of scrimmage. Two wide receivers to the left, and the option, and Newland stepped out of bounds. He's going to come up short. Nick lost his place at the 15-yard line, and I don't know. I don't want to say he would have made it, but he had a pretty good chance, and he just stepped out of bounds. He lost his spot on the field, so it'll be
actually poignant, and then Runyon pitched it, but they ran it into the boundary, and Newland ran out of room.
That was it, the short side of the field. First down and 10, 11:01 to go. So Toledo Scott takes over. This will be their first series of the second quarter. Carl Armstrong throws and tipped, and almost, first it's almost picked off, and then Marlon Warren almost caught it. He's laying down thinking about it for a minute. That was touched by a couple of people. 10. Well, you know, a couple of those will keep the defense honest. They're scary. The quarterback, Armstrong, handoff up the middle, and just hello to the whole middle of the defensive front. Nothing. Nothing.
Greg Pinard did a great job of beating his block and making that tackle. You see, he's only a sophomore.
McClung, too, went on the tackle.
Yes.
We've called his name a couple of times.
Yep.
Also, Warwick is out.
Stop this so they can make him punt and get good field position.
They have the ball on their own side of the, or on the Toledo Scott side of the field if they hold here. Third down and 8. And once again, Carl Armstrong calls signals, deep drop, looking, now he has to run. He's got some room, but not a whole lot, and he's knocked down, and there could be, no, there's no flag. Okay, he got it to the 18. Close to a late hit, but I think the man's momentum carried him forward, so no harm done. It'll be fourth down. And Toledo will be, and not sure who else. We'll check that in a moment. The kick's going to come from the 2-yard line.
It's Runyon and Warwick that are deep.
Okay, Warwick. Okay, Runyon too. There's the kick, short. Runyon lets it bounce at the 45, comes to the 47, picks it up and is immediately swarmed up, or lost about a yard. Glover was in on the tackle. Campbell, rather, was in on the tackle. So it's still on the Toledo Scott side of the field. 9:28 to go. White shirts. Toledo Scott in maroon and white. And with maroon helmets tonight, all blue for the Tornadoes with the Notre Dame shaded gold helmets. Runyon, hands off. Carrying a man forward across the 40-yard line to the 39 is Newland. Now, how did he carried a man about 4 yards? And
outstanding running back. Reminds me a lot of a young man that I used to coach here named Brian DiLiberto.
I've heard that name. Second down, 4. Columbian. Handoff. Newland this time to the left side. Cuts. Gets away from one man. Being chased and falls down, and then Newland scores. The one man that had a shot at him, I think, was Glover. That was 34. That's Campbell, excuse me. Once Newland sprinted by him, it was over.
You know, Toledo Scott blitzed that time. They brought 2 inside linebackers. Columbian did a great job of picking it up. Newland had to beat one guy. He went off the left tackle, and he had the defensive back and the outside. Beautiful run.
So we're up to 13 love. 8:41 to go. I've been watching the U.S. Open. Schlosser will try the kick. Much better snap. The kick is going to be wide left. So with 8:41 to go, score 13-0 Columbian. We'll be back in 1 minute. back to Columbian Stadium, where the score has gone to 13-0, 8:41 to go in the half. Nice 40-yard sprint by Nick Newland. Kick by Schlosser was wide left. And now Eric will kick off from the 40. Toledo Scott has to bust a move here pretty soon, Bob, if they're going to hang into this thing.
You're exactly right.
I can see all kinds of things coming for the Tornadoes unless Scott can answer.
The other thing is Scott's probably going to have to start throwing here a little bit more.
Yeah. Kick comes down to the 15, back to the 20, 25, 30, 35. Robert Campbell over the 30 and close to the 35. He'll be spotted at the 34. That's where Scott will go to work. Once again, that rough and tumble Columbian defense comes out. We'll try to get as many names mentioned, although they are so involved in the play, we usually wind up mentioning everybody at one time or another anyway.
Boy, what a treat it is to watch Eric Schlosser. He just kicked off, and he went down there, and obviously one of the Scott players is antagonizing because he just cold caught one of those guys.
1st and 10. You don't want to make somebody that big angry at any age. Armstrong looking, being chased, and gets it off. It might have bounced. It was intended for Cox and not caught.
I guarantee you they're not going to be able to call that one right because there wasn't a referee around where that young man caught the ball or tried to catch it. I think it actually bounced on the grass, but I think the refs are going to give him credit for it. But there wasn't a ref around there.
Well, when in doubt, I suppose. Inconclusive. Willard Cox. Our situation is 2nd down and 10. It's at the 34-yard line with Toledo Scott in control of the ball. It's 8:27 to go in the half. Columbian leading 13-0. And Toledo Scott, as we said, has to get something going pretty soon, or we can see the way this game is going to go. Dropping back is the quarterback Armstrong. Throws on the far side, completes. It's about an 8-yard gain. Rolled out of bounds on the far side by Warwick was the receiver.
What a great job by the Scott quarterback.
James Mann caught it.
Plum Man on a real nice out route.
It brings up 3rd and 1. So Toledo Scott at the 44-yard line, digging out of a hole. Handoff to the big fullback charging through. That looked like Antonio Lockett, who was a new face in the backfield.
Boy, he's a load.
Gee, the 184 pounds. They don't have a height on him. But yes, he is tall. Handoff once again. There's Lockett once again. That time, not so much, about a yard.
Same play. Same play they just ran.
And that time, Herrig was waiting, and also it was McClung, Mike McClung once again. Steve has a way of rotating youngsters into the game where they can't hurt. 2nd and 9. So, with 7:06 to go, we'll see if the Toledo Scott Bulldogs can get something started here. Here's the pitch, and the ball gets away, and falling on it very wisely was Robert Campbell back at the 41-yard line. Don't be a hero, just cover the thing up, which he did.
Running back either took his eyes off it or else it was a bad pitch.
Coming to the near side is James Mann, receiver on the far side. High backfield, and the quarterback, as we've been telling you, is Carl Armstrong. Drops back, deep drop, being chased. Adam Perna has a beat on him. Here's the throw, and it's thrown away. You can credit that one directly to Adam Perna, who put all kinds of pressure on Carl Armstrong.
Adam Perna did an excellent job that time.
Runyon and Warwick dropping back to receive the punt, which will come from the 25. 6:21 to go, 13-0. We're in the 2nd quarter from Columbian. First home game for the Tornadoes. It's also Parents' Night. Perna almost got a piece of that. The ball bounces backward, and Lockett is the man who grabbed it and kept it from going any further. It'll be spotted at the 39 of Columbian, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. On the first play from scrimmage, Runyon hooks up with Brad Wise for a 1st down over the 50.
Brad Wise, the son of defensive coordinator for the Tornadoes, Jeff Wise, and boy, he made a nice catch.
1st down and 10. Big gain on the first play in this series. Snap, pitch, comes to the near side. Newland again gets to the outside, gets to the 40, inside the 40, before he's bulldogged down there by Antonio Lockett. But that is very close to a first down, and we don't see the chains moving. But yeah, now we see the signal from the official. So
and Antonio Lockett's a pretty decent athlete.
Yeah.
He's only a junior, and he made a couple nice runs at fullback, and now he's made a real nice tackle on Newland.
At the 38-yard line, Runyon calls signals. Handoff goes up the middle, gets to about the 36. Ball carrier was Punyon, a couple of yards. It'll be second down about 8. 5 minutes, just over 5 to go. At the 36, second down. So if Columbian punches one in here, that changes everything. Kane Runyon calls signals. Again, the long count. He fakes and then pitches out to Newland. He faked to Punyon. Newland broke a tackle, got outside. More than enough for the first down, run out of bounds across the field at the 20, maybe the 19. Nice, solid gain once again, and that's another first down.
Runyon ran that belly option again.
Player sometimes delivers the harder blow in this case. The ball at the 22, first and 10. And once again, Columbian wasting no time, which is on their side with that 13-0 lead. Runyon handing off, and here is Newland once again, gets to the 10. That time back the other way, running between the tackles on that play.
He just poured it up in there on the off-tackle power play. Good block by Casey Punyon, who was running in front of him on that. Good.
And we're back at Columbian Stadium. Kane Runyon takes the snap, and again on the quarterback keep, the option, runs it in for a score, just like that. So we're back with a touchdown.
Same play that they scored on down here at the south end of the field. Kane Runyon faked the belly to Casey Punyon and then kept the ball, and either was going to pitch it to Newland or keep it and run himself on the quarterback keep off the option, and that's exactly what he did. Oh, look at this.
Lining up for 2, and here comes a flag, and that'll probably be a procedure. Will they start?
A bag of tricks that Steve's pulling out of his bag there. Saucer lines up in kick formation.
Yeah.
Then he ran up and
Then he ran up
to take the snap from center, and Scott lost their poise and jumped off sides.
I thought you couldn't do that. Now they're going to go for 2. I guess you can. Runyon.
Ball's on the 1.5.
Yeah, 1 indeed. Under center, keeps, and just steps in for the 2-point conversion. That's where you got him where you want him. When you've got the lead and you can play around and do almost anything you want to do. 21-0. That's our score. Still in the first half. Columbian leading. We'll take this 30-second timeout. And that's where we stand. Still a lot of time in this quarter.
You know, the thing that's starting to happen here, Frank, is that Toledo Scott doesn't have their assignments right in trying to stop Columbian's option. The biggest thing you got to do when a team runs option football is put a guy in the quarterback, put a guy in the dive, put a guy in the halfback.
There's the kick, and comes to the 16 and back up over the 20-25, now just over the 30 to about the 32. That's where the tackle is made. A host of tornadoes swarming in on the ball carrier, who was, as I suspected, Robert Campbell. So Toledo's going to find a way to self-destruct or just be shut off.
Yeah,
first down and 10. Quarterback Armstrong hands off, and a decent run up to the 39-yard line. Once again, that's the big guy, Antonio Lockett. Now, he's been playing defense all night, but only recently have we seen him on offense, Bob.
Yeah, a football player there.
Well, Campbell had done some ball carrying, and Eddie Glover, but we haven't seen as much of them. Antonio Lockett, who is tall and 184 pounds. Actually one of the bigger players on this team. This is not an overly large team. So he's been getting the work lately. Perna was held, but got through anyway and he almost got Armstrong. Did chase him over the 40, and he's tackled at the 42. Perna shed what I thought was a hold. It looked like somebody had a handful of his shirt. But he really created the chaos, and that's good enough for the first.
Trying to spread Columbian's defense out a little bit, and then Carl Armstrong's going back, can't find any receivers, so he's running it.
Armstrong calls signals. Here's the pitch. Lockett across the well, just about, well, he probably lost a yard, back to about the 42. Ball started from the 43. And once again, McClung, among others, along with Perna, made the stop, and Nate Herrig over. But they've come such a long way.
Good players make good plays, Frank.
Yep, and usually at the right time. 2.5 minutes to go, 21-0. Carl Armstrong calls signals. Throws and caught for a short gain. Bulldog down across the 45 to about the 47 was Willie Cox.
That was a real nice pass from Carl Armstrong to Willie Cox. Hard to stop that play, but you only get 3 or 4 yards at a crack, and a lot of defense coaches will give that up.
Give you a few yards in exchange for time off the clock. You can do that when you have the lead, and that's what Columbian does. Here's Armstrong back at the line of scrimmage. Quick count and zeroing in and almost making the tackle, just missing it, was Jason Young. And the ball comes loose on the play upfield by Glover, and Columbian's got it inside the 30-yard line.
That was a real nice job by Carl Armstrong. He sprinted out to his left. He found the receiver, Eddie Glover, and he hit him, and Eddie Glover started to run with it, kind of like Schlosser did the first couple plays earlier.
With it, first down and 10. Minute 40 to go, the ball at the 28. So here's another chance. Kane Runyon calls signals. Columbia didn't really expect to have the ball at this point, but they can make something happen. Runyon dropping back, fakes, throws downfield as Schlosser makes the catch across midfield to the 41-yard line. Huge play.
Oh, man, that's Schlosser. Something else. Any other guy would have tried to outrun him. He just looked for that defensive back and just put his helmet right down in it.
Pancaked him. First down, obviously, for the Tornadoes. They've got a chance to tack on another score.
What a great,
minute 29 to go.
What a great pass by Runyon. That was an out-and-up route by Eric Schlosser from his tight end position, where he ran outside and then he turned it up. And Runyon put the ball right on the money, right over the defensive back's hand.
And Wise threw a nice block to help out his fellow receiver. 1:13 to go in the half. Runyon drops back again, fakes, rolls to the near side, throws, and the ball is dropped. I can't say exactly dropped by Losi. He slipped down, the ball hit him in the chest and bounced away. Let's call it just a
19 seconds, and Columbian's on the opponent's 42-yard line.
Brad Wise is on the near side, Hill, I believe, on the far side, I formation backfield. Fake to the up man, the fullback, and throwing to Schlosser, and hits Schlosser at the 30 inside to the 29-yard line, and the big guy's got another first. Nice faking back there, too.
Beautiful fake by Kane Runyon. He faked the belly, stood straight up, and looked for Schlosser.
Right at the 30-yard line. We still have 54 seconds to go. That's a lot of time. Runyon quickly to the line of scrimmage. Calls signals. Fakes, keeps. He's just going to run it now. He pitches. And here's Newland. Newland's running toward the end zone and got it. Outran everybody, 30 yards.
What a great play by Kane Runyon. I know I'm sounding like a broken record.
No, it's true.
Kane Runyon did a fantastic job of faking the belly. I was surprised they ran the belly option. And he faked it, then he came out, waited till the last possible instant, pitched it to Newland, who was going full speed when he caught the pitch, and he split the defense and outran him.
27-0 with 38 seconds to go. We apparently will have a kick. 30-yard dash by Newland. That is his second touchdown tonight. Schlosser will do the kicking. And a bad snap once again, hanging out of the ball for dear life as Watson trying to make something happen. Throws to the end zone and almost completed it. And here's a flag at the tail end of that play. Hill was the intended receiver. We may have a push from one of the Bulldogs. still 38 seconds. The time doesn't come off. Ineligible receiver downfield by Columbian, so the extra point.
Running, punishing type of tailback. Kane Runyon, he's just showing tremendous poise tonight. He's got a lot of intestinal fortitude. He's waiting till the last possible incident, then pitching the ball off the option, opening it up for Newland. The offensive line's given a great performance. They're giving Runyon time when he does go back to throw. Schloss is playing a great game. Defense got the ball back that time for the offense. And really, Steve Gilbert's offense engineered a great minute and 24-second drive to get it in the end zone.
There's the kick to the 15-yard line. And coming back up the other way, that looked like Nick Austin carrying the ball to the 24, 23-yard line. So 33 seconds to go. I would think Scott would be very happy to get out of this half with things pretty much the way they are. In fact, the ball never even got to the feeling them out type first quarter. Each side probing. I think Columbian found what they were looking for. 1st and 10. Ball at the 25. And Scott calls timeout. Columbian band, and I don't know what before or after that. 33 seconds to go in the half. The quarterback, Carl Armstrong, now has 11 men on the field working out of the shotgun, drops back, gets away from one man, throws downfield, and it is intercepted. Intercepted at the 42-yard line. And Chris Hill is the man who picked it off, playing just center field back there, just moving to the ball, and he was the closest man to it. So 26 seconds to go. What do you do here, Coach? Do you kind of just back off a little bit, or you take another crack at the end zone?
I don't know. I'm not Steve Gilbert here. I don't know what. Knowing Steve like I do, I bet he just tries to run a couple runs here. I was a little surprised that Scott tried to throw it from their own 25 like that.
Well, it was a good long throw. It just came down to Chris Hill.
Columbian had that very well defended. They have 4 safeties back there.
Wise on the far side, Hill is on the near side, I formation. Runyon again, hands off, up the middle and gets to about midfield. That might have been Casey Punyon.
That's right.
It was, and he gets just over, well, right at midfield, we'll call it, with 12 seconds to go. Steve is the kind of guy with a 27-0 lead, would just let the half run out, and he does.
I'm glad Steve did that because the game's in control right now, and there's no sense. Well, some people would argue.
Well, I think at this point, though, he knows he can do just about anything he wants. He's got a whole half to play yet. What's the point? Plus, the other selfish way to look at it,
passes. So that may be Schlosser and Wise catching the fight.
Build and the snowball effect. So we will anticipate seeing a lot of new names and faces and numbers in the lineup tonight. To quickly review the scoring in the first quarter, for the most part, just a feeling out process, but with 2 seconds left, Runyon went 6 yards on a keeper, and Schlosser's kick was good. That ended a 48-yard drive, and at the quarter, put the Columbian up 7-0. Second quarter, with 8:41 to go, Nick Newland scoring on a 40-yard scamper. The kick failed, and Tornadoes led 13-0. 14:17 to go in the half. Runyon on a 10-yard run. The 2-point conversion was good also by Kane Runyon for a 21-0 lead. We thought the half was about over, but with 38 seconds to go, as a result of a turnover, Columbian got the ball.
Offense, whether they run it or they throw it, they've got to get a drive down and go down and get, if they're going to even attempt to make this respectable. The second thing, and maybe even more important, is they've got to stop Columbian's option attack on defense.
They're totally confused, aren't they?
That's right.
The Scott defense. Lockett kicks. Short kick takes a bounce and gets past Warwick, goes to the 10. Jeff picks it up, comes back the other way, and is stopped just over the 20 at the 21-yard line, and that's where the Tornadoes will set up shop as we are just 4 seconds in to this second half. You know, the crowd was kind of a Toledo Scott fans are. Counted about 30-something fans. And here we go. Kane Runyon from the 21-yard line. Handoff in the backfield. Newland. Ball comes loose and is covered by Toledo Scott. It did not go out of bounds. It stayed in, and it was picked up by number 13, Carl Armstrong, who's the quarterback on offense.
unique situation there. Schlosser actually was under quarterback, under center at quarterback.
He did it to us again.
He handed the ball off to Newland. Newland ran hard.
We have to keep an eye out, or I do certainly, for that switch where Eric comes in and plays quarterback. In any case, Toledo Scott, and we were talking about a break. They got one early. The handoff goes to Lockett. He gets to the 23, and a flag came up immediately as that play was developing. So we'll hold the phone and see what the transgression is here, because there wasn't time to do much of anything else on a quick play like that. So here we go. Now this is what we're talking about. Toledo Scott gets a break. Now the ball's back to the 42, so just hurting themselves at this point. Fake. Pitch goes to the far side. That's Robert Campbell. Campbell on the far side, nailed at the 40-yard line. Lucky to get a 2-yard gain out of that. Looked like he had a pretty good head of steam, but the Tornadoes chase everything. They just do not let you go anywhere. Herrig was in on the tackle.
On the foot. Carl Armstrong dropped back to throw, and his protection broke down, primarily due to Columbian's fierce pass rush. Chased out of the pocket, but he wasn't even close to hitting the receiver.
And dropping back quickly, there's a flag immediately. The ball is almost intercepted. It was almost caught, too, by Terrace Love, who was our receiver and also a defensive lineman at 200 the penalty, so it'll be 4th and 23. I really don't know what you would do at this point. The kick will come from the 45. Warwick and Runyon are back inside of the 15 for the Tornadoes.
I think that's Bob Hunt's son, isn't it? Who was such a great player here at Columbian and at Heidelberg. I hope I'm saying his name right. Kaylee Hunt?
Yep, that's it. We checked before the game. High snap, almost blocked. Kick is off. Warwick calls fair catch, loses it, falls on it at the 10. So that's where the Tornadoes will go to work. 10:35 to go, 27-0. We're in the third quarter, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back at Columbian Stadium. Eric Schlosser, the quarterback, hands off to Newland, who is dragged out on the far side at the 15-yard line, so a 5-yard gain. And I have a feeling Eric's going to see a lot of playing time at QB tonight.
Actually, Newland started to his right, found the going at about 20 yards to get that 6 yards. Nice change of direction.
Split out to the near side is Hunt as a wide receiver. Brad Wise on the far side. Schlosser again, still a quarterback, hands off up the middle, and plowing to the 24-yard line is Newland once again. He's going to have a 200-yard plus night, no question.
I would think that he would be approaching that 200-yard figure here in about a couple more carries.
He'll be the QB. Yes, he will. And again, we're going to start picking up numbers as some new faces come in the lineup. I formation. Handoff. Again up the middle. This time it's Punyon. Casey Punyon, who is a junior running back. Plays in linebacker as well. Got it out to the 27-yard line, a gain of about 3.
Get to 35, and then I think you'll start seeing wholesale substitutions. I think you're exactly right, though. He is piecemeal substituting as they go on this drive.
And still a quarterback, the big guy, Eric Schlosser, I formation. Hands off once again, and there goes Newland, banging his way across the 35 and close to the 40-yard line, picks up the first down plus. And he is just, again, going back to that word, shredding the defense of the Bulldogs from Toledo Scott. He's going about as fast as he's going to go by the time he hits the line of scrimmage.
Our friend Mr. Feltner here will tell us he's getting close to 200, isn't he?
Gotta be. Gotta be. There's a handoff to Punyon, nothing doing. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Counting down to 8:22. Third quarter, 27-0. Columbian. Their players will see some action tonight too. There was no gain, 2nd down and 10. And once again, Schlosser, that time there was a mix-up. He just keeps the ball, plows forward, gets close to the first down at midfield. Looks like he has it. He was supposed to hand it off, wound up keeping it, and ran over a couple of people, and probably made more out of it than there might have been otherwise. And it is enough for a first down right at mid. First saw him as a basketball player, and I thought he was a terrific athlete as a basketball player. I didn't picture him in football, but there he is. I mean, we knew he was a good tight end. And once again, Newland. He's tripped up as he went on through, still gained about 4 yards, getting close to the 45, let's call it the 46-yard line, and he's got to be tantalizingly close. I saw him a couple of years ago. I said, this kid's going to be on the varsity next year. Bob Knockton brought him up. He turned into much more than any of us. I mean, he probably knew, and I'm sure Bob Knockton did. Certainly Steve Gilbert knew what a terrific athlete he was for a big man. Punyon carries, and he's stopped probably for no gain. If they're generous, they'll give him a yard. They are not, so the ball will stay right at the 46. Officials doing a good...
by both teams.
Yeah, the Fostoria game, there were a lot of delays, etc. Last week was a very tough game to call. They did a tough job, a good job under tough circumstances there. 6:21 to go. Schlosser hands off. Newland bounces off of one man, gets to the outside, bounces off of a second man. Takes two guys to bring him down inside the 40. At the 38, that is certainly a first down. Now we're going to get a personal foul, some pushing and shoving. Don't know who pushed whom, but 2 or 3 players from each team involved. And the flag went up immediately, and the official, of course, a lot of it's technique, but when you're that big, you can really uncork a few. Warwick is now the tailback, and Punyon the fullback in the I formation. Brad Wise, receiver on the near side. Here's a roll-up by Schlosser, gets rushed and gets sacked. Nice job, and the big man on the Bulldogs, Antonio Lockett, is the one who wrapped him up back at the 35. So they're at least size-wise, height-wise. You have 2 guys above. Brad Wise goes to the far side. Receiver on the near side is David Losey, I formation. Schlosser stays in at quarterback and keeps. This time he's bulldog down at the 35. Not much of a gain. That time Toledo had it pretty well figured out. The man making the initial hit, Isaac Fletcher. So some new clean. And a flag just went up before the tornado. It's going to be a first down. No, they're calling a 3rd and 7. All right, okay, yes, there was a sack, there was the loss. All right, 3rd down and 6 or 7. So still in great position here at the 20-yard line. Penalty certainly helped. Eric Schlosser calls signals. Rushes on, but he rolls out to his left, looks downfield, comes back to the right, throws over the middle, has a man open, Brad Wise, and the ball is tipped away. Super play by Robert Campbell to save a touchdown.
Well, that sure was. That was a great effort by Robert Campbell. A little contact there, but I think the refs thought it was incidental. Both
up in the air, reaching, no foul. Little contact, as you said, but I didn't see anything overt there. Both looking back toward the ball. 4th down and 7 from the 20, and the Tornadoes will go. And again, Eric Schlosser has spent most of this quarter playing quarterback. 4 minutes, 21 seconds to go. The little pitch ahead to Punyon. He's inside the 10. He's got the first down. I call that the John Elway shovel pass. Killed the Browns with that I don't know how many times, and other teams too. First down for Columbian with 4:15 to go.
That was a nice call by Steve.
Yeah, it really was. That's about the one play they haven't run tonight, and they picked a good place to do it. Schlosser having fun out there, still playing quarterback. Hands off, there's Nick. Squirts away from one man, but bulldog down by relentless Robert Campbell. Nice tackle. Also went on there about 11. Just outside the 10-yard line, Eric Schlosser. And we have Eric looking up. Nothing score, and after this score, which almost seems inevitable, we will probably see a lot of new faces. Dropping back, in fact, is a new quarterback for the Tornadoes. That's Watson. The ball is intercepted and brought back the other way by Toledo Scott across the 25 to the 27.
Antonio Lockett again making that interception.
Seth Watson, a junior quarterback, got
it out of control. Toledo Scott's starting to lose their composure.
Yeah, they have.
A lot of fighting and bickering, and you don't want to get a Columbian kid hurt when you're ahead 27 to nothing.
Man in motion is Willix Cox. Quarterback looks, takes off, decides to run with it, makes a nice gain, picks up about 11 yards across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And Herrig is in on the tackle for the Tornadoes. And that's a first down for Toledo Scott.
It's a good job of Carl Army.
Kind of take matters into his own hands here a little bit and do more of that. Wide receiver to the near side is James Mann. Dropping back once again is Armstrong. He has all kinds of time, and now the ball goes to the wide side across the 30 to about the 34 or 35 yard line.
Antonio Lockett caught that screen pass.
Little screen.
Picked up a couple yards. Actually,
And if Scott makes this one, I'm impressed because they started with that penalty and all way back in the hole. Ball at 36. Calling signals and dropping back. Armstrong looking downfield, and it is overthrown. No contact, or if it is, it's incidental. James Williams, the intended receiver. No good. Brings up a 4th down and 10.
Columbian
And you do have to kick from here. The kick will come from right at the 20-yard line by Toledo Scott. There's a snap. It's almost over the head. Good thing the kicker, Wilkes Cox, is tall, and the ball hits the defensive man in the rear end. Fletcher was facing the other way, got hit in the backside with the ball, and it's down inadvertently at the 40. Jeez. Apparently there's no penalty on it. It's a 5-yard gain.
Sure looked like a late hit to me.
Well, it was, because the flag came out immediately, and the official maybe is saying, look, fellas, it's getting late in the evening, and it's 27-0. But still, you want to protect the players. Schlosser pitches. Here's Newland. Has the first down plus and squirts to the 40, almost the 40, 41. Finally making the hit, coming up Robert Campbell to make a nice sure tackle. And again, you've got that pushing and shoving after the tackle, and I don't like that. I mean, that's
very late. Newland was able to pick up about 20 yards, and he's just gone over the 200-yard mark. Mr. Feltner has informed us he's now 23 carries for 208 yards. What an outstanding night.
And I would put him on the shelf for the rest of the night, but now it's Punyon carrying to the 32, and it'll be probably the last play of this quarter. The clock stopped now with 13 seconds. It was about at the 31. It's going to be just short, apparently. Nope, they made it. First down. So 1st and 10, and the clock will run out before we get another playoff. So no scoring in this quarter, which went very quickly. 20-7 to nothing. Columbian leading. We'll be back in 1 minute. Airtime is 1:20, and Schlosser gets creamed as he pitches out nicely to the 20-yard line and finally run out of bounds as Casey Punyon at the 19. But Schloss took a couple of cracks as he held that ball to the last second, Bob.
Boy, he did. He sure did it. You know what? He never went down. He was still standing. The 2 Toledo Scott guys went down that creamed him, and he got the ball. I wonder what the record is for Columbian, if anybody knows.
That's a good question. Schlosser calls signals from the 19, hands off once again, Newland, and finally Bulldog down at about the 15-yard line. Even when he gets the so-called little gains, there's still 4 5-yard pops. Man making the hit was Antonio Lockett.
I know Steve probably.
For the evening. We might see Watson again, Seth Watson.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
2nd down and 8, so that was only a 2-yard gain for Nick Schlosser. Again, the pitch. There's Nick to the far side or the right. Hops through 2 tackles and dances into the end zone on a 16-yard run.
16-yard, another 16 yards for Nick Newland off the option. Schloss did a great job. Actually, something that worried me there, they ran that option, and the Toledo Scott defender went right for Schloss's knee, but Schloss took it and pitched the ball to Newland. Newland made a great cut.
Well, now we're into almost a field goal. Well, it is field goal distance. The hold is going to come at the 25 for the extra point. Add 10 yards to that, and the holder, who is, it's all right, you're doing a heck of a job. Good job, Ian. I didn't know we were going to take it either. It's just that everybody's standing around, so. And we're back, 10:51 to go, still waiting for the extra point. Now it's going to be a play rather than a kick, and Eric Schlosser will be the quarterback. Newland is the tailback. Not a play that really matters, so the extra point attempt is stopped. 33-0, 10:51 to go. We'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, that leaves us 1, 2, 3, only 3 30s. Good. Trying to do our sponsors a little favor here by getting in before this thing is totally out of line. And welcome back to Columbian Stadium. Frank Barber with Bob Wolf. It's 10:51 to go, 33-0, and Big Eric Schlosser kicks off short kick. It'll take bounce inside the 30, juggle down there a little bit, and then finally picked up. I believe that was Robert Campbell who gets it back across to the 33-34 yard line. And Toledo Scots Bulldogs will set up there. Frankly, ball spotted at the 31. So not quite as far ahead as we thought. First down and 10. From that point, still a quarterback is Carl Armstrong. Handoff. Ball is lost and Armstrong covers it. That's a loss of about 3 back to the 27-28 yard line. Second and 12. Under 10 minutes now to go. I formation, 2 wide receivers to the near side, dropping back. Armstrong throws and it slips through the hands of the intended receiver, James Mann, delivering a shot as if to say, okay, here's one back. Was Warwick. Legal hit, no flag. A little message. 3
hit.
Dropping back once again. Armstrong steps up, gets away, may run. Now he throws on there and it's going to be picked off and is by Warwick, who brings it back the other way. 50, 40, he's got a chance. He's going to be run out of bounds at the 20. The ball came loose. It was not out of bounds. He did stay in. But first down for Columbian from the 20 as Jeff Warwick picks off the errant throw. That one was quacking by Carl Armstrong when it came down, to be quite honest, and Columbian has another scoring opportunity from the 21.
Back 2.
Yep, that's 25, Chris Hill. No, that can't be right. I'll correct that in a moment. Carrying the ball to the 10-yard line.
I think it's number 29.
29 would be...
I'm sorry, that was Punyon running
that was
the ball.
Punyon there, but I'm also looking for the other checking back in as a Hunt. He will be a wide receiver on the far side. Brad Wise is still in there on the left side. That may be Blair Nam, 25. There's the pitch. Ball is lost. No, you're right. It's 29, and the ball is recovered by Toledo. On the pitch, it just didn't work. Ron Bolin, the junior, had trouble taking the pitch and handling it and lost it. So Toledo Scott at least keeps it at 3. And we're back at Columbian Stadium, and indeed that was Bolin, so I'm sure we'll see those other.
You know, we're starting to see a few substitutions on defense here too, which I think is really good for Columbian.
That can only help down the road. Again, here's the pitch deep. The man is the receiver and throws it downfield. The intended receiver, and here comes a flag late. The ball was caught by Marlon Warren. Warwick made the hit, and the flag came in after the tackle at the 35. That was James Mann, who took the pitch out, threw a wobbly pass, got it completed, however, and then the flag. And the quarterback, once again, they're staying in there, is Carl Armstrong. No change there for Toledo. Here's the pitch again, and now a reverse. The reverse goes to Marlon Warren, far side, looking for somewhere to go, pulls away from one man, and gets hammered at the 15. Boy, that's a lot of work for about 3 yards. He took a shot on the far side.
I'll tell you this, Toledo Scott's pulling out all stops.
May as well. Nate Hauk, number 55, was a new number in there, really. Blair Nam is now checking into the game.
Toledo Scott's now tried a halfback pass and a double reverse.
May as well go for it. Dropping back, throwing, and caught on the far side and pulled down at the 30-yard line by several defenders, and that should be more than enough for the first down for Scott. And here come the chains. Ball moves out to the 30. Exactly nowhere to go. The offensive, the protection just isn't there. The offensive line, frankly, just not holding out the Tornadoes much at all. Ricky Hackney now comes in motion again. Short drop throw and dropped. Did well to get a hand on it downfield. Good hard throw little off target, but the Marlon Warren,
Pushing the ball a little bit.
Nate Williams in for Columbian. He will be matched up out here on the near side with Willix Cox. And once again, dropping back, short drop throw, and right through the hands of Justin Kendricks. Really had nowhere to go anyway. Defending on the plate was Nate Hauk once again. So 3rd down and 10. Well, they're enjoying. Parents' night, nice night, crisp fall weather. You told me Tuesday we'd be wearing lined jackets tonight. Wouldn't have believed it. Justin Kendricks goes in motion. Hand off to the fullback, and once again it's the big guy Antonio Lockett. Rolls over the 35 to the close to the 40-yard line. Looks like the 40, and it looks like he's very close to a 1st down.
This kid's got a lot of heart, He runs hard, he pumps his knees.
McClung is back. So a lot of new faces. Again, we'll try to identify as many as possible. Blair Nam also seeing him action. 1st down and 10. And it's a 1st down for Toledo Scott. Quick drop, throw in the flat, and just off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Warren, and just went through his hands. Pretty good coverage over there on the far side too.
Real good coverage by the Columbian defender. Real good.
We're back at Columbian with 3rd down and 10, a pass play, probably with a good intention. And they are trying. They might as well try some plays, things probably they wouldn't do.
And they are fighters.
And James Mann is the quarterback now. Yeah, they're scrapping to the end. James Mann is the quarterback. Handoff goes to the big man, Antonio Lockett, and he's wrapped up. It took 3-4 Tornadoes to haul him down. All right, getting up off the pile is Corey Smizer.
I think Scott's going to go for it.
They are.
4th and 10.
4th and, yeah, virtually 10. And, yes, they will go from the 41-yard line. And it is James Mann, still a quarterback, dropping back, gets big rush, gets hit, and gets hauled down. On the top of the pile is Jason Young, but the people at the bottom count too. They're the ones that usually make the initial hit. That was 63, DeWald. Give him some credit, and we're going to see wholesale changes here as Columbian takes over on offense.
Carmen getting a little fired up down there in the sideline. I think one of his offensive linemen,
Bo Carmen's in.
Wasn't out there when he should be.
Maybe it was
Maybe it was his son.
Watson fakes, keeps, and he goes through the scheme and gets to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and finally hauled down just inside the 5.
Boy, is he one happy young man. That was a great job on the quarterback keep.
Nice fake.
Off the belly option. He kept the ball and turned it up and picked up about 35 yards.
Yeah, that's just about right. So it's 1st and goal for the Tornadoes. 3:17 to go.
We must have his father and mother sitting in front of us here.
Is that right? Well, why not? Enjoy this one because the NOL season just around the corner, and you won't see many like this, I'm sure. Watson, again, this time does hand off, nothing doing, rolled up back at the 10. Jeff Warwick, who is a senior running back and defensive back, he's popped pretty good back there by another new face. Jody had a carry here at 2nd down and goal from the 10. Splitting out to the far side is Hunt. On the near side is Myers, Tony Myers as a receiver. And inside the 10, working to about the 8, is Watson, who kept the ball, so it'll be a 3rd down. Main thing is the clock keeps moving, Bob. That's, with 33-0, you just want to get through this thing.
Yeah, you're right, Frank. If you're close,
use it for the following week, and everybody got to play, so everybody's happy. And Bo Carmen is lined up at tight end. Quarterback is still Watson. There's the pitch, comes to Warwick. Warwick gets to the 10 and is hauled down on a very nice one-on-one tackle by Antonio Lockett, who's still playing this game like it means something with 1:40 to go.
Well, if you're Scott, you want to try to stop him and get the ball back so you have one last chance maybe to get on the scoreboard. So,
and welcome back. We still are in the midst of a timeout here. Columbian called it. We have 1:33 to go. It's 4th down and 10. And the Tornadoes will go, and Watson is the quarterback. Call signals at the line of scrimmage. Rolls out. A little pitch shoveled forward to Punyan, and he is close, but no signal. Did he or did he not get into the end zone? We don't see a signal from the official. Punyan carried the ball.
There's that shovel play again where the quarterback goes back and underhand shovels it, like you said, a la John Elway, and Columbian didn't make it.
Stopped at the 1.
The referee said he's
pretty good about that. You say, well, in a 33-0 game, what's to feel good about? They didn't get more than 30. They didn't get 40. So first down for the Scott Bulldogs. Quick throw and drop. Nice throw on the dropping back off the back foot, James Mann, but the pass was dropped. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 1.
Outside, and he just took his eye off and dropped it.
Cox receiver on the near side, Love on the far side, drop back and caught. And is it a safety? It is. Mann was caught in the end zone for a safety. So add 2 points onto the total. Walking around out there like he's feeling good is Wade Sugar, so he may be the man credited with the safety. And now Toledo Scott will kick it back to the Tornadoes with 1:18 to go. 35-0.
Sad long night for Toledo Scott, but happy.
Feel for him because they've really given it everything they had, and now they've got to really play out the string because there aren't enough people left to fill the spot. That is a short kick. Rolls to the 42 and is covered there by a Tornado on the far side of the field. Good move. That was almost the equivalent of an onside kick.
Phil DeWalt got on that ball very quickly for Columbian, and I think you're right. I'm not sure if that was a pooch kick or an onside attempt, or he just was trying to kick it deep and didn't hit it very far. But Phil DeWalt did a nice job of recovering that ball for Columbian. Columbian takes over 1st and 10 on Scott's 37-yard.
1:13 to go and counting. 35-0 is now our score. And here in the 4th quarter, we've seen only 1 touchdown and then the safety. So a lot of new people getting in the game. Tony Myers is a wide receiver. Over on the far side, Austin Wagner is the receiver. And the play is halted before it ever got started. Might be too much time. But Columbian got it. It looked like the play was stopped. It happened that quickly, and I was looking down. Sorry, half a minute to go. You do tend to wander. There's a kneel down. Okay, no harm done. Seth Watson just downing it. 25 seconds to go. And I guess we'll get one more of those, and that'll be it.
Class move on Steve Gilman's part.
What's to gain?
That's right. He's just going to kneel down, and I don't even know if Columbian has to call this last play here.
Probably not. I think the official might just cut him a little slack. Eric Tyree in the game. Trying to get as many people credit here as possible for the Tornadoes. And the clock runs out. So congratulations to one and all. Jason Sharp saw a little action tonight. He's coming off the field. Mike Eisenhower. I think we got about everybody. Cody Warren. Congratulations all the way around. So our final score, 35-0. Columbian Tornadoes with their home opener on Parents' Night. Very impressive in their victory over a game, but simply outclassed Toledo Scott. Huge night for Nick Newland and for the offense in general. And there's no comparison between this team, Toledo Scott and Fostoria, but you just measure that 2 weeks since the Fostoria-Redmond game where the offense was, we said quite frankly, behind the Columbia defense at the time. Well, games like this will get you caught up in a hurry. 35-0 our final. Time now for the post-game show. A review of how the scoring went in tonight's game, brought to you by Saxtetter Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call 447-1962 or stop in at their office at 95 East Perry Street in Tiffin and listen each week for the Saxtetter Insurance Player of the Week, which will be announced by Saxtetter. And we will be back with how the scoring went in tonight's game right after this timeout.